Hello, welcome to another video on the Scouring Early Access. Today's match is going to be a 4 versus 4 game. On my team it's going to be me, the Perfect Gamer, my allies Cox, Svetly97, and D Mordka. On my enemy team it's going to be Dinchi Code, Amon of Assess, Bonus Sheik, and Ares. Here I spawn as Cyan Orc player, and I was pretty much trying to do an archer build order. Here the orange orc player, Svetly97. Looks like he's going to be doing the archer build order also, but there's a few more peasants making his Ogden camp. The next ally, Cox, purple orc player. Looks like he's going to be doing a warrior start. Over here, the final player, the Mulka, a Russian player playing as the Black Humans. Looks like he's going to be doing, I guess, a few swordsmen, and probably making a few archers later on, because he's making a sawmill pretty quickly. And here we were talking about the cow. That's pretty much Russian player. He's on Odo portraits here. When you're in game, you can see his Odo fighting cow here. So that's why we gave him the nickname, the cow. Over here, the enemies are the white human player, Tonoshik, another Russian player. Looks like he's just going to be doing a archer build. Over here, the blue orc player, Dinchi Code. It's going to be making some warriors, but then I guess transferring into producing auto archers. And here, the yellow player, Ares. I guess with a funny build order, making a second town hall. He's trying to get all the workers, I guess. He's making barracks very slowly, so he's going to be having units very late compared to everyone else. Final player, Red Orc, Amon of Assess, with a double barracks, where you just try to produce all the warriors. And I guess somewhat skip making as many workers compared to your warriors. And of course over here I didn't scout, so I pretty much didn't see the 8 auto warriors here. And you can see as auto level 2s, around 6 of them, and all of my archers are pretty much level 1. You're gonna have a hard time fighting as warriors. So here I tried to somewhat snipe few warriors, try to get the bow reserve ability, or the bow ability for workers. But here we can see when the warriors are already on top of your barracks, then you're kind of screwed. You're not going to be able to really do much. So here pretty much I lost all the workers. Then I lose his barracks. But here my orange ally sent some reinforcements trying to help me out. And here I was thinking that we were going to be attacking red, because he doesn't really have much of anything. Not even that many workers, so even if he did get the bow ability, he would still be able to shoot him down here. But here we are sniping warriors. But then here orange decides to try and defend my workers from 2 skeletons instead of killing this whole army of warriors. And then by the time we basically got back, the blue player is already here, and then now we can't really do much. I guess while I'm being attacked here, in the meantime, the white player was bullying the black player. Or just annoying him, I guess. And then the purple player just hanging around, producing stuff somewhat slowly. Got a second base, but I guess more just sitting in his own base here. So here I got a barracks, try to make some archers, try to get some workers. Now try to get a forge to try and maybe get a few cannons that would help me fight against potential future attack, which I would assume would happen because I lost sort of workers, so there wasn't much I could do but try and get some defensive units out. Oh, here the black player just losing on the workers to the white player's annoying little archer force. Here I saw purple wasn't really doing anything, so I told him to try and help, I guess, the black player, because I saw he was losing some units here. And over here, the white player made a forward base. It's going to be very hard to defend because it's very close to an enemy base. Here, the white player is being murdered here as well by the skeletons. But I guess he'll figure it out. Here yellow is just making a lot of warriors. Not much else. Looks like he doesn't have that many workers, so maybe he lost a good amount of them. I'm not sure. Here we can see a huge army of yellow warriors, red warriors, and then I guess blue archers here. It's over here. I was trying to get some cannons out. Maybe kill some neutrals. So it's somewhat just in my base. And here I guess I notice the enemies preparing to attack me. I guess the blue player misclicked here. Showed his army. But it's not gonna really matter, because my allies are pretty much noobs, so they're not gonna be really doing much while I'm gonna be dying here. And here I try to put my workers here so they could also help fight, but Orange decided to go on top of here instead. And it was pretty much just a whole mess where we couldn't really do much because there's 3 players here against me and whatever archers Orange had here. Right here, I just pretty much decide to surrender. So I don't really see any point in staying. My allies are not going to be, I guess, assisting me much. So I thought the game was going to end pretty soon anyways. And over here, the purple player, I guess, comes here to orange. It's going to be expecting an attack from these free players. So I guess he is going to be helping one of his allies instead of just sitting in his base. And here the black player just made a lot of cannons, another barracks. And here for some reason the white player decided to not make any cannons, just have a lot of archers. Over here, the two of the players, red and blue, begin their assault. And here, purple connection. Knock a lot of arrow shots here. But the red blind can't, because he doesn't have the shield ability. And over here, yellow joins in. Try and terrorize the orange player's base. But here, the purple player actually put his warriors on top of the buildings here. Just gonna make it impossible for any warriors that are gonna be climbing on top here to really do much, because they're just gonna get slaughtered too fast. You know, here pretty much orange and purple were able to slaughter 3 whole armies here, and instead of, I guess, attacking together, they kind of decide to be auto-passive. Even though we can see purple is moving out here. You can think that he's going to be attacking someone, but as I know, these are more noob-ish players, I would say. And they don't really know how to coordinate or work together, so they're just going to be doing their own thing in their own base, pretty much. But over here you can see the black player is doing his own thing pretty well, bullying the white player, slaughtering all of his archers. And here I guess we can see the white player did make some cannons, but black has more cannons, so he can just win the war of attrition here by being able to bombard more than enemies here. And I guess over here the yellow and blue coming to help white. But here in the meantime, I guess purple is expecting for the enemies to attack the black player. So I guess he sent some warriors here to, I guess, help out. But in the meantime, he was, I guess, too preoccupied. And he pretty much just forgot about this army even existing for the next, I guess, 5 minutes. He just doesn't know that this big army exists. He could have even just thrown it against the red player. and it would have done all the economic damage to him. But I guess that's how noobs operate. You can't really think of a bigger picture. And here, orange is making a lot of cannons. Not really making a second base. Not sure why. Maybe he's thinking they're gonna attack his base again. So I guess he's more afraid. Instead of having a better economy, making a second base. And I guess thinking more defensively than he has to. He's being harassed here by the neutrals. Why he's not really using his units. Could I just positions him here? Now he's gonna be bombarding his own farms. It's kind of funny. So there you go. You can see how, yes, inexperienced, or you could say I guess unorganized these players are. But at least the black players here destroyed this barracks. And I guess most of the white players' archers here. And blue is over here. I guess he was maybe thinking of taking the middle. But I guess he saw the white player was losing this ground here, so try to help out. And here somehow the purple player decides to coordinate with the black player, attack together here. But there was no communication, so it was just random decisions that each of the players did. And over here, the white player decides to make out of cavaliers to try and fight. But I guess the enemy team, for some reason, decides to attack by themselves instead of working together to overwhelm a position. So by the time yellow gets here, blue's army is already dead. The white's army got shot, so there's not much left. And over here, you can finally see that the purple's army is now just going to be feeding on XP to the red player. Sort of funny, because he could have used this army to just cripple the red player, but by not really thinking strategically, we just have this army here to hang around. And here the yellow player just kind of killing off the last of the black player's cannons here, but at the same time he is kind of beating the black player. All the XP for his archers, and I guess a good amount of gold as well. And over here, I guess the orange player saw that he wasn't being attacked for the last 3-5 minutes, so finally decides to get a second base and decides to go and help out his teammate here on the left. He's going to be bringing in all the cannons that can be very effective at bombarding the enemy. But I guess also for a red player, who's also somewhat defensive, just sitting in his base, you know, You can see that. You can also see that his allies are losing here. Lost his base. Just losing out of their army here. And blue, the white player decides to lose a few cavaliers. And here, pretty much it's just orange and black working together to somewhat push that enemies back. And over here we can see that the purple player finally decides to take this dark tower 20 minutes into the game. You know, he had all this time to do it. And he even takes this third base of the orange player. It's kind of funny. Instead of taking this third base over here. Over here, the enemies, I guess, somewhat trying to work together, but there's a lot of cannons here. So it's going to be a little difficult for them to do. And over here we can see the army of a black player. It's pretty much dead. He doesn't have much left. But this is his reinforcements here. He's been pumping out. And he did manage to make a second base, but by the time that he did, his main base right now, so it's pretty much just on one base the whole game. Over here, the black player, thanks to his outposts, might allow him to put his archers or cannons on top of here if he wants to. And only now, the red player attacks, try and help, instead of attacking when the white player still had his army. But here we can also see the white player ran out of gold. And so the best thing we can do is try and maybe go on the right part of the map here. Try and make a base where there's still a good amount of gold left. But he's also somewhat of a noob, so he might not even think of that as an option.
Our allies are under attack.
Now here, the red player comes, punches barracks out of it. And what's over here? Yellow's attacking too, but he just threw away his whole army. And in the meantime, while everyone was fighting and doing stuff, purple finally decides to attack. I guess super late, I guess, at this point. Kills this whole base of workers from blue. Kills this whole base. And goes into yellow player's base. Kills a lot of his farmers. So he's just pretty much just being annoying.
Our allies are under attack.
Instead of, I guess, really that effective. Because he could have just attacked with his teammates here. Just overwhelmed the enemy, but he decided to sit in his base. Here, red player managed to save this base of blue. And over here, the red player, purple player, finally researched for rage ability. Here, red didn't feel like losing one or two munchers. So you decided to let the yellow player lose a whole lot more archers. And now he's going to be overwhelmed a little bit for the neutrals. And in the meantime, I guess
Our forces are under attack.
the blue player lost a few cannons. He's having trouble defending his base also. This looks like a disaster on an enemy team. They don't really have that many workers. Not really mining that well. Or some are not even mining at all.
Our
No, here.
forces are under attack.
My allies, you could say, have all the bases, mine all the gold, and just continuing to expand. I'm gonna guess over here, the orange player,
Forces are under attack.
I guess, is a bit of a newer player, so still having trouble with the neutral skeletons, even though it's a very easy way to fix this. Just put some archers on top of here and pretty much just make a outpost,
Forces are under attack.
what do you call it? Guard tower or barracks, and put some archers on top of here and then just have zero issues with skeletons. So he is somewhat, I guess, cleaning this up, but I guess everyone has to learn one way or another. From here, the blue player was being bullied by the skeletons. Lost a lot of health on his town hall. Probably lost a few workers as well.
Our forces are under attack.
Over here, the white player is on his last legs here, you could say. Doesn't really have much left. I can't really do anything. Over here he says, I have 3 teammates that are AFK. And he just calls it good game. It's pretty much just something you say before you surrender. Or before you give up, pretty much. Over here, the red player still has all the munchers, but he still only has a second base, pretty much, because his main base mostly ran out. And I guess here we can see Ares. Didn't really play much, I guess, so gonna have to learn the hard way. But I guess it is what it is when you're a new player. You're not gonna be able to know the unit interactions as well. But the more you play, then the more you'll understand. And I guess the more fun you'll have in the future. You're here, purple is just being annoying once again. Discarded all these workers of a blue player. Now he ran back into yellow's base like I did once before. But I guess after killing a few workers, losing some munchers, he decides to run away. And over here, the yellow player kind of, you could say, trolls his own ally. Leaves his whole army in his base, and then leaves the game. And when you do that, all your units become hostile. You're gonna be slaughtering your own ally here. You know, he could have at least thrown his army against the Blackbear's army before surrendering, but I guess he decided that was pretty much over, so that's why he surrendered. Now here the Black Bear, the purple player ran in here to try and annoy the red player, and the red player also managed to get the rage, even though he didn't really have it for a very long time. And here the orange player manages to, I guess, kill this base with blue, so now pretty much the blue player has no more gold, or pretty much no more places to get any more gold. Need a few warlocks, but without an economy or sporting units, they're not going to be really doing much. I guess black tried to clean some stuff here. And I guess he didn't realize that the yellow player surrendered, so all of these buildings went neutral, so he could have just sent his whole cavalier army into his base and got even more gold by breaking his buildings and killing his units and workers. Over here, the red player is the final player on the enemy team to have some kind of army. He decides to throw it away here. Maybe out of frustration. Not really sure. And it does look like he's pretty much giving up morally. Doesn't have much of a motivation to win at this point. And not much is going to be happening now, so I'm just going to speed it up. And here black was just slowly bombarding. And he's waiting for his allies to help. But he has a big army, but I guess he's afraid of a few cannons. So he doesn't really do much until now. And over here, the purple player, he is trying to attack red, but he did lose a lot of munchers also. But purple does have a bigger economy compared to red, so you can always throw away his munchers. And over here, the Russian player, the cow, just finishing up the final few buildings of the blue player. And I guess over here, purple just being annoying, killing some workers. He's not really intending on doing a winning push, just trying to kill some workers. And here the blue player finally decides to surrender. So he ran out of gold and the units, so it was pretty much over for him. And here, pretty much nothing's going to be happening. So I'm going to speed up again. Yes, orange decides to Bunch of barracks. So they're pretty much slowly killing the red player. And over here, we can see that the black player is preparing a huge army to storm the yellow player's final base.
Our allies are under attack.
But just like I said before, these are pretty noob players, so you're not gonna really scout. You see that yellow is not even playing anymore. He surrendered 5 minutes ago. It's kind of funny that the black player didn't really scout to see. So now it's kind of funny. The purple player has a huge army. Black with a huge army ready to assault this fortified base, but
Our allies are under attack.
now they see there's literally nothing here. And now when they have a very big overwhelming force, they decide to attack into the red player's base. And now there's just too many units for the red player to deal with, so this is pretty much his final stand. Every year red player fights. Damn shame. I guess it's a damn shame that his team lost. You know, he managed to kill me very quickly in the beginning part of a match. Here you can see even though I pretty much died, my teammates not really helping much. They somehow managed to avenge my death by killing all the enemies. And I guess sometimes managing to work together, but you know, it's more of a mess. They didn't really work together as well as they could have. Anyways, if you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more videos on the Scouring Early Access, then you can subscribe. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.